Welcome to another Throwback Thursday, where we take a journey back in time to 1987, where crime was rampant, corporations ruled, and justice had a new name. RoboCop. What can I say about this film that hundreds of other YouTube channels haven't already said? And to be honest, I've no idea because I haven't watched hundreds of other YouTube reviews about RoboCop. Anyway, I'm going to delve into the world of this groundbreaking, iconic science fiction film and explore its cultural impact, social commentaries, and sharp social satire. Released in 1987, RoboCop was a film far ahead of its time. It was a vision of a not-so-distant future where law enforcement had been privatised and corporate greed had taken over. The film's portrayal of a crime-ridden decay in Detroit was a commentary on social and economic challenges of the era. The gritty, near-futuristic setting captured the anxieties of the time that, quite frankly, could also be relevant today. One thing that I do find really amusing about this film is that, with it being ultra-violent, there was plenty of merchandise that was tailored for children, such as action figures, video games, comics, and even a Saturday morning cartoon series. I guess it's just a testament to the movie's enduring impact and the iconic status of its titular character. Beyond its remarkable special effects, well, remarkable for the time I'd say, and action-packed sequences, RoboCop offered profound social commentaries and satire. The film depicted a world where megacorporations wielded immense power and the police force had become a business. The corporate-controlled dystopia paralleled the concerns of the time regarding corporate influence and privatisation. RoboCop himself was a poignant symbol of dehumanisation caused by technological advancement. The film explored themes of identity, morality, and the loss of humanity in the face of relentless pursuit of efficiency and control. But you can't really talk about RoboCop without discussing its satirical elements. The film featured mock commercials that hilariously and scathingly lampooned consumer culture and the superficiality of mass media. These segments serve as a clever and biting commentary on the commercialisation of violence and the manipulation of public opinion. Not a lot's changed in the last 36 years since the film's release then, has it? RoboCop was directed by Paul Verhoeven. The Dutch filmmaker is known for his bold and often controversial style. His first full-feature film, Business is Business, was released in 1971 but wasn't overly well received upon release. His first national success came in 1973 with Turkish Delight starring Rutger Hauer, with Katie Tipple following in 1975, again starring Rutger Hauer. Verhoeven achieved further success in 1977 with Soldier of Orange starring, Rutger Hauer, and to cut a long and interesting story short, he went on to make The Fourth Man in 1983 and Flesh and Blood in 1985, again starring Rutger Hauer. Then it was time for RoboCop. Verhoeven initially turned down the project, throwing the script away after only reading a few pages, thinking it was just a dumb movie. It was his wife, Martine, who convinced him to direct the film, as she told him that she felt the story was layered with multiple satirical and allegorical elements. With this, he fearlessly tackled the film's satirical and violent elements by creating a visually stunning and thought-provoking experience that, in my opinion, still stands up today. The film stars Peter Weller as Alex Murphy, the policeman who's gunned down by a gang of hardened cop-killing criminals led by Clarence Bodiger, played brilliantly by Kurtwood Smith. Murphy is then turned into RoboCop after he is pronounced legally dead in order to use the experience of a top police officer as OCP's subject for an enhanced cyborg cop. Peter Weller delivers a performance that brought depth to the character's struggle between his human past and cybernetic present. Additionally, Nancy Allen, Ronnie Cox, and Miguel Ferreira deliver standout performances, helping to create a cast that was both memorable and engaging. Nancy Allen, who plays Anne Lewis, is thrust into a partnership with Murphy after he is transferred to her precinct. Murphy was transferred to Metro West, a precinct that is in turmoil, with its staff overworked, underfunded, and crime spiralling out of control. It's almost as though Murphy, regarded as a cool-headed, optimistic, mild-mannered and highly trained cop, was transferred there on purpose because he was a perfect candidate for RoboCop in a precinct where his life expectancy would be greatly diminished. Interesting.
We've restructured the police department and placed prime candidates according to risk factor.
What brings you to this little paradise?
Beats me, man. I think OCP's doing a lot of new guys up here.
They soon form an understanding and trust in one another in the short time that they spend together, allowing for Lewis to become one of the main catalysts for RoboCop to start remembering who he is. She figures out that Alex Murphy is RoboCop, and RoboCop is Alex Murphy, as she is able to see distinctive human traits unique to Alex Murphy himself. She can still see the human under the robot.
Murphy, it's you.
RoboCop is a product of OCP, a mega corporation that pretty much owns Detroit. Although this is explored more in the sequel, OCP want to completely bankrupt Detroit in order to build a brand new city in its place, Delta City. OCP see Detroit as nothing more than a failing business to be taken over with assets stripped down and sold for profit. In this case, a city is the biggest product for their consumers to consume. They don't want to sell an old decrepit city, instead they want to get rid of it, build a brand new one and make even more profits. This is capitalism at its pure greediest. They don't want to spend money helping people most in need. Instead, they want to cast them to one side and build something else in their own image. RoboCop is the brainchild of Bob Morton, an up-and-coming young executive played by Miguel Ferreira, who latches onto an opportunity to sell the development of RoboCop to OCP's top man, or the old man as they refer to him as, after a very violent failure of ED-209, a walking battle tank or enforcement droid. Poor Kenny.
Oh my god! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
ED-209 is headed up by Executive Vice President Richard Dick Jones, played brilliantly by Ronnie Cox. This creates a power struggle between Morton and Jones. Jones sees Morton as nothing more than a brash young upstart who is getting in his way and needs to be eliminated. Morton sees himself more as an up-and-comer, someone to replace the older, more out-of-touch Dick Jones. After Morton disrespects Jones in the executive lounge bathroom, Jones sees this more as a blood feud and uses his contact, the ruthless Clarence Bodicker, who is Detroit's public enemy #1, to, spoilers, kill Morton. Jones has now got Morton out of the way, and now it's time to do the same with RoboCop.
Bitches leave.
After RoboCop is revealed to the world, he soon excels as the best in law enforcement. Is this part of the programming, or is this Murphy's instincts taking over? Anyway, he is programmed with 4 directives. Number 1, serve the public. Number 2, protect the innocent. Number 3, uphold the law. And number 4, which is actually classified to RoboCop. Following a gripping and intense shootout in a drug factory, RoboCop finally gets his hands on Clarence Bodicker. He also learns that Bodicker is working for Dick Jones. When RoboCop goes to arrest Dick Jones, Directive 4 is revealed. He cannot arrest a senior officer of OCP, and if he does, it results in shutdown. This is where we get the action sequence between RoboCop and ED-209, and it turns out the best way to do away with Ed-209 is to simply walk down some stairs and make sure he follows you. All that money and engineering that went into the development and production of that deadly machine, and stairs are his mortal enemy.
I'd buy that for $1.
Following the showdown with Ed-209, RoboCop is then confronted by SWAT teams who open fire on him, inflicting further damage. He is then rescued by Lewis and retreats to an old abandoned mill where he is in need of repair. It is here when he really starts to come to terms with what he is, with his humanity beginning to win over the programming. As the film draws to its climax, Bodicker and his goons set out for one final showdown with the big man at an abandoned steel mill, which shows the major decline of a city once proud and renowned for manufacturing. This is a clear reference to the major decline of this once great city. As the fight between RoboCop and Bodicker's gang rattles on, we get what is one of the funniest death scenes in a film that you'll ever see. It's up there with Neville Sinclair's death scene in The Rocketeer, and yes, that is only an opinion, so behave in the comments. As the showdown draws to a close, we then have the image of RoboCop walking on water, as the religious allegory is as clear as day. In conclusion, RoboCop isn't just an action-packed, ultra-violent science fiction film. It's a deep exploration of societal issues, offering timeless social commentaries and satire. Its cultural impact is undeniable, with an enduring legacy that continues to influence and inspire both filmmakers and audiences alike. On the surface, RoboCop may look like mindless action schlock, to steal a description from Red Letter Media, with a far-out and unbelievable premise. But this film has layers, and plenty of them. As mentioned at the top of this review, the theme of dehumanization caused by technological advancement is so relevant today, especially with the advancement of AI technology. This is only one layer to be peeled away from this onion. Another is the clear hierarchy or class system that is present within the world of this film, where the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. This is clear within the Bob Morton character. At OCP, he's the good guy. He's the one who wants to utilise RoboCop to solve many of the issues within the Detroit Police Department. But the cops themselves, well, once RoboCop is revealed to them, they see themselves as being expendable, who could be replaced by a machine that can do the job twice as good and for much, much longer. Outside of OCP, Morton isn't as well respected, especially amongst the police force themselves. He looks down upon them, whereas within OCP, he wants to be an equal to those at the top. As the viewer, you root for him within the setting of the mega corporation, but your opinion changes slightly when he is surrounded by those he considers beneath him. The metaphor is clear to see, and I don't really want to go into the political side of things, so I'll just leave that one there for you to make your own interpretations. If you haven't experienced the world of RoboCop, then I strongly encourage you to give this a watch. If you have, then why not revisit this 1980s classic? As relevant today as it was in 1987, it's a testament to the enduring power of great cinema and thought-provoking storytelling. I also have to mention the musical score, which really ramps up during the action sequences. The main theme, composed by Basil Poledouris, being as iconic as the film itself. And I do think it was a shame that Poledouris didn't return to score the second film, because the music in that film is nowhere near as good as the music in the first. Following RoboCop, Poledouris does have some notable film scores to his name, which include The Hunt for the Red October, Hot Shots Part 2, Free Willy and its sequel Free Willy 2, and Starship Troopers, also directed by Paul Verhoeven. It is with this score for RoboCop, and later the not-so-good RoboCop 3, that he is possibly the most well known for, but the score for RoboCop, like the film, stands the test of time for me. That's it for this week's Throwback Thursday retrospective review of RoboCop. Thank you very much for joining me on this journey through the world of this iconic film. We would really appreciate it if you can give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. But remember, stay human, stay safe, and most importantly, stay entertained. I've been Colm from the Critical Cinema Club, and I'll see you very soon.
Bitches leave.